All right, guys, we should be back and live again. Part 2 of this match between Dan Wallace and Vilmos. Apologize for any of the interruptions.
Dan is looking at kicking that one ball across and leaving the ball right on the bottom rail. Unfortunately, the cue ball went a little long. It seems to me, Daniel, tell me what you think, but it seems to me that everybody is struggling with their speed on this particular table. Do you think it's the lack of humidity? Do you think it's the felt, the rails? What's going on?
Well, I don't, it could be a lot of things going on. I haven't been able to really take a look at a lot of matches on other tables. It seems like there's a lot of anxiety coming from players on the tour itself, and I think it's because we're at the halfway mark. We're starting to figure out who's who in this, and there's a lot of pressure in that too. A lot of the players that are really rising to the top, there's pressure on them.
And it's
being put on a table like this.
And it's the first time in San Diego, right? So it's the first time they meet the local players in San Diego that have joined this leg of the tour. Mm-hmm. That in of itself, I mean, true, most players will quote unquote play their own game. They play the table and themselves, not their opponent. But I'm sure it sort of figures into it.
It could be a lot of things. But I saw Oscar Dominguez struggle on this table early in the morning for the first few games of his match.
Yeah.
We've seen Attila Bezdan, a very strong player, lose 9-2 against Oscar playing on this table. And it seems like Vilmos is wrestling a little bit with Dan.
Yes.
I'll play doubles.
What you guys can't see, and I see from my vantage point here next to the table, is that right around the play table there is a big crowd that's watching the game right now. Ugh, that ball didn't want to go in. Somebody must have kicked the table. And Vilmos knows it. He's on the rail, didn't want to be on the rail, but opted for a longer shot on that 6, going around the 9-8 to make the 7 in the bottom left pocket.
Vilmos has a natural angle here.
Yes, he hit it just a little bit short, right?
Yeah, a little bit short.
Again, that seems to be that same jitters that you called it. I mean, don't get me wrong. A player of Vilmos' caliber will hit that ball all day. But wouldn't he like it a little bit closer?
I think also, and I will point this out, Ashi, there are a lot of spectators.
Yes, I just
on
mentioned
this
it.
table.
I just mentioned that what the viewers can't see is the amount of people that are standing around, all around the table and watching this match right now.
A lot of distractions. It's very difficult to focus. 9-ball is an extremely demanding game. It demands all your focus. You have to play perfect if you want to run out. And, the conditions are tough.
Absolutely.
For a champion.
Absolutely.
Even for a champion.
Absolutely.
But for Vilmos, he will chalk up another game. 3-2, and Dan will break.
Dan hits that rack with like a cannon. He'll gain speed in the last few inches of his cue going forward, and he smacks that rack real hard.
Well, let's get a chance to see this now. Oh, yeah.
Open table, clear view of the one ball.
Was he nicknamed at all back in the day?
No,
Dan the Cannon Wallace,
there's a long story because I have a nickname for him as a friend of his, and I warned him that I may let it out on the stream just to razz him, but I think I'll be a good friend and not mention it.
Okay.
But the answer is no.
Okay.
He was always known as Dan and didn't go for any of those. And, his break is very hard, but if you notice, his hit on the ball is relatively soft. Not as soft as the Filipinos, not as flat as the European players.
Wow.
That ball, on any other table, that ball would be in. You know that.
Well, I think he was playing. He was trying to. I think it was the 6 was in his sights as well. And he was trying not to hit the 6, which is why he banked that a little long.
That's possible.
This tournament is double elimination, folks. This match is from the winner's side.
Vilmos can't go into the side pocket, so he's trying to split the difference. That's what he's looking at. He's actually looking at splitting the difference, leaving the cue ball on the top rail and the one ball down on the bottom rail. But he doesn't like that plan, so he's walking around.
Okay.
He left the ball right in front of the pocket, but
well, I think Vilmos played that as a two-way.
Yes,
I think he was hoping maybe the one would go in, but
that's possible because of the way he left himself next to the 2. What would you do here? I don't think Dan would jump. Plus, there's no jumping. He can see that one ball, but I don't think he can cut it in. Do you think he can?
Oh, no. I don't think he can cut this. I think he's going to try to... He wants to... You see what he's looking at? The one railer behind the 6 ball?
Yes, I see that.
He's going to decline on that one.
Let's see if he hits from behind. Yeah,
he's going to put a little...
Oh! Again. Any other table, and that would have gone in.
Safety battle. Guys nervous?
Vilmos is probably looking to put the 1 right next to the 2 ball up table.
Got a couple of Dan Wallace fans, groupies watching this match. How long have you known Dan, Ashi?
That's a good question. I think about 12, 13 years now.
Were you shooting him? Were you taking pictures of him when you met him?
Yes, absolutely. I have some photos of Dan playing in some very big matches in Vegas at the time. However, that's not how we met, funny enough. And the funny story is that I think we met here at On Cue for the first time.
No kidding. Well, Dan was trying to get the cue ball behind that 6.
He was trying to help it with the power.
Yeah,
it's a Jedi move. The please go behind the 6 Jedi move. It's very well known one.
Post-stroke.
Yes, the post-stroke English move Jedi power thing.
Rattled.
Yes, rattle the pocket. Does the two? Sorry, the one doesn't clear that
no,
two, does it? No.
The combo is the only thing.
Combo
other than
or
a
safety?
Yes,
He'll probably opt for a safe. You know, when
by the way, though, I will
Yes.
mention that Vilmos is a champion kick safe player.
Yes.
And so, if you're going to get in a safety battle with Vilmos, you better lock it tight.
And Dan is good at weighing
And Dan plays good combos, so
the percentage, meaning, you know, if it's the same percentage for you to shoot the combo and shoot a safety and make sure that you get it, shoot the one that rewards you, in this case the combo.
Well, that was a
Although
good
he
shot.
didn't want to be shooting over the ball.
A little bit too much angle for
A
Dan.
little angle. You think he'll bounce off that side rail next to the side pocket and come back for the 5 just like that. That's what I saw from here.
Not a bad recovery. I like where he is on this shot because he doesn't have to do too much to the ball. Just stun it a little bit, and he'll slide over slightly to the right.
Just like that.
Doesn't even need to create that much movement.
Well, it's a natural hit. He hit it with the power that did that. He didn't need to, but he hit it with the power that moved that ball up table. Of course, he'll put just enough to be able to cut the 7 down.
Dan's in really good shape here, and even better for him if he wins this game, he'll create more of a lead. He'll be up 4 games to 2 on Vilmos. So this is just going to be putting a little bit more pressure gradually on Vilmos in this race to 9.
All it takes here is just make that 8. Don't add anything. Don't spin it. Bounce off the rail down. Make that 8.
Scary thing about playing a guy like Vilmos, though, is you can turn around and like next thing you know, you're down 3 games.
Yes.
It's just, we watched that this morning with Oscar playing Attila.
Oh, it wiped its feet on the way in.
It's like Dan is going to take a 2-game lead. And we want to quickly thank our sponsors, Mezz Qs.
A few days ago.
Want to thank also Virtual Pool 4. Check out Virtual Pool 4 online. Check out Marty Carey's Jump Cue. And want to thank them very much. Thank you. Score 4-2. Vilmos's break, and it looks like the 5 ball goes down.
A few days ago, Daniel, I got the pleasure of quote-unquote playing Dan Wallace. I was complaining on Facebook that I got my behind handed to me while keeping him warm. An interesting place to put myself.
I tell you what, I would love to play Dan. I think I would have a lot of fun
I
playing.
really think you would. I really think you would. He's not only a gentleman on and off the table, but his style of play is just so true, so sweet.
Well, I saw him watching us play snooker last night.
Yes, that's right.
And,
That's right.
I just kind of got this feeling he was just,
He's the ultimate observer, you know. Yes, yeah,
he
is,
sizes me
yes.
up,
Although, I mean, it has to be said that he'd love to play anyone, but it's not. Sometimes you get the feeling that somebody is eyeing you to size the size of your wallet in your pocket. And
I didn't mean it that way.
I know, and I think that Dan won't do that. Not that he doesn't, but that's not why he'd play.
Not that he doesn't.
That's not why he plays.
And as I had noted just before this rack started, this is the wrath of someone like Vilmos.
You run 2 racks up on him,
yeah.
and you turn around, count to 10, and he ran a table on you.
Because this was a beautiful out. That one ball was, in a tough situation. He had to play that right.
And Vilmos knows what it takes to win. It's not only your ability to make balls. It's your ability to size your opponent. It's your ability to keep your focus despite the distractions in the background. It's your ability to step up to the table when you need to.
Absolutely.
I'm reminded.
He probably, he's over there, Raw Hannah, and his friend Attila. He's probably sat down and said, you know what, it's time to turn on the juice.
Yes, it's time to win this.
But as you and I both know, that doesn't work for all players.
No, I can want to do that. All I want to. It doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I'm a photographer.
There's one thing I've learned, though, is in playing a lot of tournaments myself, is in tournament play, you really have to keep the juice on at all times. You know what I mean? You're going to keep that heavy kind of focus, that gear. You got to be in
tournament
as much of a high gear as possible.
Tournament play is different because if it's winner breaks, you may be sitting in the quote-unquote electric chair for a long time while your opponent is running
there
racks.
Is that, yeah.
Step up, and from that first shot, you don't have a get out of jail. From that first shot, you have to perform. By the way, I want to point out that one of the most well-known commentators, an ex-road player for many years, is playing on one of the tables next to us. That's Jay Helfert. I haven't seen him play in years, so I'm happy to see him play.
He's in a match with James, John Ferguson right now. Yeah, Jay, I didn't know he was going to be here for this.
Yeah, I asked him, and he said,
here.
yeah, I'm playing. And I'm like, wow, that's fantastic.
Dan with a chance now to, he's got the 3 ball, but he could very well set up a pretty simple combination.
And that's probably what he's going for. I see how he's bridging, and he's bridging to come off that rail, touch the other one.
But he missed the 3 ball so bad, yeah.
That's what happens, when you concentrate on one thing
pressure.
And you just forget. Yes, it's pressure.
Vilmos actually.
Can he see that? He can't see the 3. No, he has to kick from behind it. The question is, where is he going to kick? Is he going to kick to make it? Or is he going to kick to come underneath the 3 and create a safety?
I think the smart play here is to play some kind of a safety. Don't do anything. He's.
For one short second there, it looked like he's looking at the
Mezz.
No, at the bank in the top pocket, the one pocket shot, but
the
probably
cross.
not.
The
The cross bank. Yeah. But instead, he decided to just kick safe.
He could have got more out of that shot than he did, but
he hit it a little bit hard, didn't he?
We didn't really get any movement on the cue ball, so Dan has an open shot. It's not an easy one.
Table number 7, I need green coming and Ben Newhall. Green coming, Ben Newhall. Ben goes to 8, green goes to 7. Come get your round.
Vilmos is trying to see not only how he wants to hit, or where he wants to hit that 3 in because it goes, but how to avoid the traffic so you can go back up table for that 4 ball. He's looking at the path around.
He's contemplating.
Yes, he has to go 2 rails, 3 rails around all of the traffic to try and get to that 4 ball.
We might be in a safety battle here. I think that's.
You
Unless
think
he's
so?
cutting the side pocket.
No. Oh,
I think he was playing safety all the way.
Yes.
That's a good shot. It's a good shot.
It's a good shot. To the best of my knowledge, Dan doesn't jump in these tournaments.
Old school
He
player
might.
doesn't use
Old
a jump
school,
cue?
yes, yes. Old school player. He will kick, and he kicks very well. Daniel, it seems like the camera on the other side of the table is
Hindering Dan. Well, I gotta say, Dan is the tallest player that
That's
we've
right.
seen on this table today, and I actually knew. I knew that for somebody that tall, that the distance of that table might
creates
be a
an
problem.
issue. It hasn't been until now. I just noticed that just now.
Well, there's somebody that's over 6'3".
Yep.
In fact, in this room, a lot of the tables are pretty close together.
Yes, that's right. Well,
Anybody
that
who's
has,
6'3" in this room.
that happened because of the rearrangement of on-cue when they added four
The 4 bar
7-footer
boxes,
diamonds.
yeah.
Yes, for the league
Vilmos.
play. Vilmos makes a quick rack by sinking the 9 in off the combo. Is it
Tied up, sir.
Tied game. Tied match.
Tie
Sorry.
match. Dan's bummed. So we saw a break and run from Vilmos in his last visit. We saw a break and run.
You know, I'm actually I'm surprised at the lack of break and runs in this tournament. I thought I'd see more, but like you said, it could be just jitters, it could be the equipment, it could be the humidity, it could be the spectators. There's so many things that collide to make sure that you won't perform well on the table.
Yeah, I get the feeling that everybody's going to settle on day 2. You know, day 2 is going to.
Well,
We're going to see a lot. We're going to see different matches, different kinds of matches.
that's
on
right.
day 2.
A higher level of players too.
Higher
Typically.
level. Level. So a ball on the break, the 5 ball on the break, and a chance to kick and stick here for Vilmos.
And that seems to be what he's going for, right? Kicking right into it, sticking it right down there.
Kick and stick, but not too hard.
Vilmos just stood up on his shot partly because the player on the other table moved into his field of view.
And as promised, we're definitely going to see good kicking game from Vilmos, who is almost a
That is
phenom when it comes to kicking.
Yeah, Dan and I spoke about that earlier when we said that the Filipinos were the first to bring the kick safe into the game. Until then, both Europeans and Americans really kicked just to touch it, to make it, to not be hidden anymore. But they went for the kick make and kick safe, and that's something that elevated the game of pool quite a lot.
Yeah,
Dan added
definitely
English
raised
to
the bar.
Yes, Dan added English to this shot to make sure that the cue ball ended up at the top end of the table where it is, and he got lucky with the placement of the 1 ball.
I will mention to our viewers that Vilmos was one of my picks for the finals of this event.
Here today or in general, the whole tour?
For the whole tournament, for this whole tournament. So, it doesn't really make much difference, but it's just...
No, it doesn't.
Just
And you know, as well as I do, that on any given day, any one of the players may lose their match and then come from the loser's side and still win.
That's right.
So
that's right. Well,
they
there's
see
only one person who ends up in the hot seat. So somebody does lose eventually.
Right. And
everybody loses eventually.
And the
except for one
person in the hot seat doesn't necessarily win
Yes,
every
exactly.
single time.
Yeah, my 3 picks for this event, for this particular event, I put a lot of thought into it. And my 3 picks were Oscar, Rodrigo Geronimo, and Vilmos for the finals. So I picked 3. So, you know.
I watched Rodrigo play some shortstop games last night, and
he
was
played the
very
Romanian,
impressed. Yes. I was very impressed. I don't know that I've seen him play too often in tournaments, but I was very impressed with his stroke last night. For those of you who don't know, last night before the event, a lot of people came over to sort of feel the equipment and the play and the game and the people, and there were a lot of games taking place.
I did leave a little early. I left at 11 p.m., but I heard there was quite a bit of action last night.
That's one of the things that I'm always surprised. People say that San Diego, now more than LA, is becoming an action town, and I thought it was the other way around.
It's great to know.
I thought it was the other way around, that there's more action in LA than there is in San Diego.
No, I think you win right now. You have to go. Oh, that's fine. I figure you know everybody. Sure. Geraldine Thibodeau wanting to check in with everybody.
While Daniel and I were talking, of course, Vilmos and Dan are getting into a safety battle. Unfortunately, right now, Vilmos can see that one ball, try and make it down and run into the 7.
Of all the areas that we taped, just make sure that we're all right, because eventually at this time of day, stuff starts to switch. Take enough sun. Take that roll. Just do some spot. I don't want to like.
Are you bossing there, Roger? Yeah. Oh, do you want me to stay away from this?
Oh yeah. No, I mean really, the internet connection is what I'm worried about. And then after this match, we'll check here.
Okay, this right here could use a little bit right there. Okay.
Vilmos is looking to cut that ball all the way up and slowly run into the 7 to try and stop the roll. Instead, he opted to play yet another safe.
There is a 3-foul rule, yes.
For those of you who don't know, that means that if a player has 3 fouls, consecutive fouls, that is loss of the game.
Sorry, Dan. We'll move this back for you. It's not moving. Somebody nailed it down. Yeah. Dislodged the cable.
It was a nice hit from Dan. Unfortunately, he didn't get the safe that he wanted behind the 3 and 9 balls.
Just to remind you folks, you are watching POV Pool. We have a website, POVPOOL.com. And if you're looking for information about the event that we're streaming right now, please go to my website. We have an on-cue Billiards real-time updates post that we are constantly updating. And Geraldine, go ahead. She'll post the link in the chat room
Vilmos tried to
for that update page.
Draw back into the 3 and 9 and missed it.
But
so
if you go to
he went
POVPOOL.com
to see if the 3 ball goes off the 9 ball.
If you go to POVPOOL.com, you'll be able to get those updates. So, and we're working as hard as we can to get you some. Some of the updates are lagging a little bit, but please be patient with us. We'll get those updates to you as quickly as possible. Thanks.
Vilmos is looking at the tangent line off the 9 ball. He's going to check the other side of the table because I suspect what he wants to do is play safe and not try and make it if the 3 doesn't go off the 9.
I don't think this is going to go.
Depends, you know? Well, there you go.
I was talking about the 9.
Oh, no. I was talking
didn't
about
think
the 3.
the 9 would go, but
He,
I wasn't really thinking
He
about the
threw
9,
it
the
just
3.
a little bit to make sure that 3 went.
Good shot. He's in a compromising position here. I don't know if the 4 passes the 6, but he might
It
just
does.
be
He
playing
has
from the side.
half a pocket there. I mean, it's a tight fit, so he went to the side instead. What a beautiful shot into the side pocket.
Yeah, that's not easy.
No. And the only reason he did that was to avoid clipping that 6 on the way in.
Good match. I mean, good shot.
You saw his
Vilmos'
body.
chance to
Yes, to
take
take
the
the lead, right, for the first time this match.
And this is exactly what I was saying. You know, is you gotta be careful against a guy like Vilmos,
because
you know.
he's too
He's
tough
a
of a player.
world-class
Yeah.
champion.
He is.
And that's not to take away from Dan.
No,
I mean,
nothing to be said about that. When you play at that level, you should expect people to run racks on you.
Yep. 5 games to 4. It'll be Dan's break. Dan's chance to break and run. No pressure.
Making minor adjustments to the camera.
All right, another look at Dan's monster break. And what a powerful break he does have.
I told you, he smashes them on the way in.
Little trouble with his cue ball, which is something that the pros have worked really hard to perfect over the years. I guess Shane would be an
Shane is the
inspiration
example of anybody who wants to see
an
break
inspiration
and cue
to
ball
everybody
control.
out there who has probably forced a lot of these pros to really refine the break.
You know, it's interesting because the first one I saw soft breaking was Corey Duell.
Corey Duell, yeah.
And then they did things to disallow it, and I think that Shane's compromise between a smash of the rack and a controlled break proved to be very effective in a lot of the matches that he played. There are players who say time after time again, they say,
man.
I can't beat Shane's break.
Yeah, almost, just like, oh my gosh,
Right.
impossible to negotiate.
Right. Well, an
Kojak
unfortunate
goes to the subway
Yes, an
for
unfortunate.
Dan Wallace.
Yep. Kicking to the brink right there.
So, and an open table, I think maybe if there's any difficulty at all, would probably come between the 4 and the 5 ball.
It's possible, but you and I both know Vilmos' ability to control the cue ball on the way there. this is as close to open table as there is for pro.
Well, to Dan's credit, this is a tough table, and we'll see what happens here. Nice position by Vilmos there. Now remember now, he wants to create either just a little bit of distance between the cue and the 4 here, or the right angle.
Yes, that's why he walked around the table to see exactly wants to stay for that 5 ball. He didn't want to run into it now.
And now I think he's starting to understand. I think he's trying to get the speed down.
He is.
He may have to use a bridge.
And to a certain degree, you know, that's what separates the pros from lesser pros, is the ability to adjust to any equipment, any time, any condition of play, no matter what.
Yep, that's a good shot. And
does the 6 go? I can't tell from here. It doesn't go in the side, so it's going to come underneath it to shoot it up rail. He just pointed to the rail, to the exact spot we want to park that 5 ball. There.
Good speed.
Just a little bit of an angle.
Right here, blood tester.
This is a tester shot. On these tight pockets, roll it along the rail, come out with a shape to that 7.
He's out. He's out.
Oh my! You know?
I was watching that ball. I had the perfect angle. He hit that ball out.
Yep.
He overcut it.
He did.
Scott, how the hell are you, man?
How goes it, brother? Hey, man, it's good to see you. How's the new girlfriend?
How's what?
The new girlfriend.
Oh, the new one, yeah.
Behind us, Scott Slayton.
Oh man, you know, I mean,
Did you meet Geraldine? Did you meet Geraldine?
She said you met up with her.
Did you meet Geraldine? Scott Slayton.
Hi.
Just wanted you to meet.
Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. Okay, keep up the good work.
Dan might have to take a tougher cut on that 9 ball so that he doesn't hit that 7 too hard.
Dan Wallace takes his chance here.
You
This
know,
is a big chance.
one of the things that Dan is known for is maximizing those pockets. He will figure out just where he can hit it in order to maximize that pocket.
All right, we have a match.
We have
guys.
us a match.
5 apiece. 5 apiece. And Dan's groupies are
Vilmos
just
dancing
with excitement.
Dancing.
I can almost guarantee the tops are going to fly off here. If
Yes,
Dan wins
we're
this match.
hoping. We're hoping. And some of the tops may belong to women, so we're hoping even more.
I should go to. Like Target, get like the sale. Buy like a bunch of box, make a box of panties. Just for win. I think I'm gonna do that.
Next time.
Tomorrow.
Vilmos makes the 1 on the break, leaving him a clear shot of that 2 ball.
Thing about this though, it's 5-5, but this only means that Vilmos is gonna just play with that much more conviction.
Yeah, but you know it's a race.
He's
It's a
not gonna
race
make
to
this
9. It's a race to 9. So really, it's a race to 4
It's a race
at this
to 4,
point.
right?
And the alternating break gives anybody a chance here. Although with Vilmos breaking the first game of those 4, he has the advantage. Sitting in the corner.
He's not happy.
No,
not
sitting in the corner you can't see is Attila, the other Hungarian player, the wearing an eerily similar shirt to that of Vilmos's, just in different colors.
They're matchy today.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Just like me and Geraldine, we're matchy.
Absolutely, you are rocking Chargers shirts in San Diego, so you know what time it is. Now, if you wore Raiders shirts in San Diego, we'd have a problem.
Well, Los Angeles doesn't have a football team.
I know. That's why it's the...
and even if they did, I don't know.
Close. Well, yeah.
All right, so Vilmos now, he's not happy with his position here.
And the reason is because the cue ball goes away from that 5, and that's not what he wanted on this shot. So he's going to try and manufacture something by punch hitting
he might play
that
this 2
4
rails.
in.
Play this cue ball 2 rails. Play the 4 in the side. We played 1 rail. Very nice shot.
With a ton of English.
You know what? He's out of line here,
Yep.
but I like the shot. Even though he is out of line, I liked what he was doing.
The problem now is not running into that 9 ball, because if he does, he simply won't get down to that 6 on the other end of the table.
What's going on? Shout out to Chris Santana.
In the
Loose
house.
Design.
You should be doing commercials. Or like movie commercials.
Sick now.
In a world. Beautiful
That's
shot.
Beautiful. The way he measured not hitting that the traffic and making it right in between to get onto that 6 was just artistry.
Well,
I'm reminded.
What do they call this? Won the hard way?
Yes, I'm reminded of a very old-time road player that once said to me, every tournament at the end of it has 25 players that can make any ball from any place, anywhere on the table.
Mm-hmm.
But he says you'll always see the same 5 on the top, because while 25 may be able to, they don't necessarily want to make every single table every single time. And that's the difference between those at the top and those at the bottom. Yeah,
those underneath, yeah.
Yes. There's a reason why we see the same top 5, 10 players in every tournament. They want to make every ball they aim at.
Yeah. And as you can see, Vilmos has made every ball that he aimed at on this rack. And there he is.
Right now he's leading by 1 point
Sitting
over
next to
Dan
his
Wallace. But
best
it's
friend.
Dan's break.
What's that?
Dan's break.
It is Dan's break.
Chance to even up the score.
It is Dan's break, and it is 6-5.
Yes. In a race to 9.
So apologies for the
Not to update
slip
from the
on
stream,
the,
yes.
from the lack of the update on the scoreboard, but
It's
it's
okay,
now
we got it
6-5,
now.
and we're going to see another monster break by Dan Wallace.
Dan opted to take a little bit power off the brake and control that cue ball, which left him, of course, right next to that 1 ball. He took just a little bit off. He realized that he was hitting it too hard last time he broke, which lost him the control over the cue ball.
6 ball went down.
9 balls in the pocket, and he's on the 1 ball.
Tough shot here. He's going to have to let
Yes.
the cue ball loose. I think what he wants to do is just
around the world?
slightly draw, but I don't know if he can. Well, he's going to come around the side. Yeah, there you go. That's what I was hoping he would do. That's the shot that I would play.
Beautiful shot. Beautiful speed, too.
He might be a little out of line on this shot.
Even if he is, he'll just leave himself a longer shot on that 3 ball, because that will give him the angle that he needs to come down to the middle of the table for the 4. So even if he has to take a longer shot, that's okay.
He's definitely taking his time now.
And that's the one thing he didn't want to do.
Yeah, that's
run
gonna
into
hurt.
that 4. Yeah, that's going to hurt.
Thank you. Well, he's hooked. He has to kick. He knows it. There's no choice. It's just now you gotta.
And
This is a crucial point,
and
a crucial stage where
there's no way to kick to the 9. He was looking to see if there was a way to
yeah, but
kick
you gotta
to the
just
9.
let that go. You gotta
Yeah.
let it go, and you gotta go with what you got. You know?
And that's what he's doing. He's looking at the 1 rail kick into that 3 ball, maybe floating down to the 9 off it. He went for making it. May get rewarded. No.
Just left Vilmos open.
Yes.
Rattled it.
Dan has another lease on life. What would you do here, Daniel?
Well, for me, I might even just go for this shot because I like these kind of shots. You spin the ball along the rail, and it all depends on how you feel. But there is a good safety on. Only thing is, you're going to put the 3 ball down by the 9. So, I like trying to spin that in.
Yeah, just like you said, he did try, but Dan's shoulders just slumped down when he saw where the cue ball rolled to.
The way he shot that, I don't think I would have shot that the same way. I would have drawn the ball to spin the cue ball back around table, but he decided to just use outside follow.
And Vilmos is back at the table, shooting at the 3 ball.
And that's
That's
perfect.
the reason why, yeah, right there.
He's a little on the rail here.
Earlier on, I said there are only 2 rules for pool. Rule
Don't get
number
on the
1,
rail.
don't get on the rail.
Don't get on the rail.
That's right. That's rule number 2 right there. If any of the viewers are starting
Vilmos
out,
says,
yeah,
I don't
it
get
doesn't
on the
matter.
rail, I get on the cushion.
Yeah, there you go.
To you, it's a rail. To me, it's a cushion.
Nothing.
He's going to play a 8-9 combo. It looks
Yes,
like.
I'm thinking actually he's going to carry him into the 9
play a
ball.
billiard
Yes,
there?
play billiard rather than try and. Well, it depends. I'm looking if he's straight in on that 7, then he'll play that combo.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
he's
his
straight
angle.
in.
He's
See,
pretty straight.
So he's just going to stop it right there and play the combo rather than the billiard. The billiard moves the cue ball towards the pocket. That's not what he wants.
I don't know.
See right there.
I don't know if I like
Yes.
this.
I know it's. I mean, it's missable. But the 9 is so close to the pocket. I don't think Vilmos will have a problem. There you go.
That was the way to
There
do
you
it.
go. And now with that, he's 2 ahead and breaking
Yeah.
in the next match.
Just want to thank all of our sponsors for this event, folks, and for this tour, the MZWST tour, sponsored by Mezz West State Billiards, Virtual Pool 4, and Marty Carey's Jump Q. Also want to thank Fast and Loose Designs and Go Play Pool, the helpful app for your iPhone and Droid. Check out goplaypool.com or download the app, the free app, today. Also want to let you know that Marty Carey's Jump Q is on sale and available at WS Billiard Supply. Check out WSBilliardSupply.com for the Marty Carey Jump Q or any other cue or case accessories that they have in their inventory there. Marty Carey is an official sponsor of the MZWST Tour. And we want to thank Marty Carey and the Marty Carey Jump Q for their support of the MZWST Tour. So here we are. Looks like a kick safe being played right now. And cue ball creating a lot of distance.
And Vilmos will have to masse slightly just over the edge of that 4 if he wants to hit the 1 ball.
Yeah, he's
there. You can see that the 4 is just edging it out, so he's going to look at just spinning it slightly around that 4 ball and hitting the
whether
1.
he's playing for the hit or the make, we've yet to see. He missed it.
He missed it.
Missed it.
The English simply didn't take after the shot. He managed to masse around the 4, but hit it with a speed that didn't allow the cue ball to rotate into the 1.
I think there's a little error in his follow through there,
Very possible.
from what I saw. So here comes big, tall Dan Wallace with ball in hand. And he's going to stun down table probably. This is not a very difficult
drawback.
out.
Yeah, he's going to draw back.
Not a difficult out.
Beautiful control of that cue ball right now. You wouldn't come into the short area, right? You'd rather stay long and shoot it to the left.
No, actually, I might come to the short side for this shot. Because there's more access to the 5 ball afterwards.
Right.
He's gonna play the cut the long side.
Well, he opted for that long shot. Question is, does he prefer the 1 rail out right now rather than coming around the 5?
He played a
1 rail?
good shot. Played a good
1 rail.
shot.
He's a little long on that 5 ball, just a little bit for where he wanted to be.
It's turning out to be a tough match for Vilmos, even though he's 2 games ahead.
You know, there isn't a single match tonight that's going to be a gimme.
No,
Although,
you're absolutely right.
You know what? Who was it? Was it Attila who was simply down on himself?
Attila
and
was
not shooting good?
conceding the game.
Yes,
he
and with
conceded about
2 balls
about
on
4 games that we saw.
2
that.
balls on table. He's like, no, go ahead, that's fine.
Nice shot by Dan.
Very nice shot by Dan.
Perfect speed. Used the natural angle and didn't have to put any kind of English. The only problem here is he will be challenged on this 9-ball shot, so he better get either real straight. Create himself a comfortable angle from which to shoot at, because he's going to be on the rail. And here we are on the 50-yard line. This is not an easy shot when the pressure's on you, when you're 2 games behind.
He booted that 9-ball. Wow, that's pressure right there. Dan knows he needs to make that 9. He played perfect up to this point. That's pressure.
You know, the way he shot the 8, he had a slight angle, and I know these pockets are tight, but if you can just follow without any sort of side English, and you might be able to create some angle. But he decided to play a stop shot on that 8-ball, and as a result,
yeah, right there,
he has
3
made
games.
himself. He made himself a very tough. Left himself tough on the 9, and that's it. That's going to be on the hill for Vilmos. So with Vilmos on the hill, Dan will break again. Another monster break from Dan. Come on now.
Notice Dan is talking to us back here in the commentator booth. Being left-handed gives Dan an advantage in this shot. Dan opted to shoot a longer shot on that 3 so that he wouldn't have to put too much on that 2-ball. Natural follow on that 4-ball, hit the 5 into the side. Uh-oh. The one spot on that table that Dan didn't want to end up in, that's where he's at. It's that lack of concentration. And he knows it too. It seems like the only thing now is to play a safe, park the cue ball by the 9 ball, and send a 7 to the other side of the table. Then again, you can bank it, and everybody here is appreciating it, so much so that Vilmos is actually conceding that game. Once again, Vilmos makes a ball on the break, but the 1 ball is hidden by the 8 ball on the other side of the table. At this point in the tournament, there's no shot clock, so the player can take as much time as he wants to try and figure out his shot. And Vilmos is taking all the time that he can. Opting for push. Dan will get up, take a look at that shot, but from the way I see it, he will offer it back to Vilmos. Dan is shaking his head. He simply doesn't like where the 1 ball is resting. He might even offer it back. Yep, he just offered it back to Vilmos. He said, "You can deal with that. I don't want to deal with this." And Vilmos is also looking at that kick safe. Kick the 1 out of there and leave the cue ball right where it is. You can see that Dan may not be able to even see.
Okay, guys, coming up next, we're going to have Ernesto Dominguez versus Steve Akins. We're going to be streaming late tonight. We're going to go down to the final 24 players. We started with 97 players today. I am currently reposting a video bracket that will be updated to the POVPOOL.com blog posting for this event. So please go to POVPOOL.com, check out the on-cue real-time updates post.
You were talking about Vilmos's ability to kick safe, and he just did that. He did exactly that.
That's good.
Yes, he left Dan with a very, very tough shot.
Yeah, he's
the 1 ball into the side
he's
pocket.
in a tough space right now. Yeah. This will be an entertaining match coming up, folks.
Yes.
Versus Steve Hakens.
For those of you who don't know.
What a nice kick. Unfortunate, though.
Wow.
You know, though, he is lucky to get off like that.
Yes.
He made a hit. And
played it with the right speed, you know. But, for those of you who don't know, Steve Aiken is the John McEnroe, if you will, of the pool world. He... I don't want to say that he gives Earl a run for his money, but I'll say that he gives Earl a run for his money, if you know what I mean. So we're looking at an entertaining match coming up ahead.
Yeah, we got to see Steve Aiken play Jose Perica a couple years ago, I think, at the Swanee, and it went hill, and it was quite a match.
He's a very good player. He's just, he talks to the crowd and himself and everybody in the attendance. I had the honor of playing with Jose Perica on a team many years ago. He needed a player. I was around, and it was such a pleasure having him on that team with me.
It's a good shot, two-way all the way. He played that as a two-way shot, and that's perfect. Vilmos is playing percentage-wise. He's playing very well.
Yes, he's on the hill. He knows that all he needs is to eke out one game. He's playing safe. He doesn't want to give Dan a wild shot to open the table and allow Dan to get an inch in. No, nothing careless. And he'd rather not make the two but play it safe than make the two and leave it open. And that's exactly what he's doing.
And I've got to tell you, to Dan's credit, if he can stay in this game with the punishment that Vilmos is trying to impose on him right now, that's a lot to be said for that.
Indeed.
He'll be kicking this one rail.
Oh.
He came around it, and Vilmos is going to take ball in hand.
If I saw correctly, what happened is when the ball came off the rail, it hopped.
There's a little bit of skipping.
And that skip may have caused it to miss the edge of the one ball when it went around. That's one of the reasons that happens when you get that skip. Mm-hmm. Now, Dan hit it correctly, but he had to hit it low to shorten that angle, and that a lot of times digs into the rail and causes that skip when it comes off it.
Hello.
Yeah. Where are you going? Well, he might come above that 3. Because playing below it is, I don't know. He might come above the 3. That 7 creates a big ball if he needs to, and so he's going to go above it, above that pocket.
I think he's going to put the cue ball right where that piece of chalk is.
Yes, that's...
But you need to make the 2.
You take your eyes off for 1 second of lack of concentration. Walking into a frame, yes.
Streaking across the screen.
Those of you who don't know, Clyde is the owner of On Cue.
Which is where we are at right now. And Dan just is kind of making fun of himself. Kind of making light of,
coming short on his
way to play when you're under pressure,
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that was a smart shot.
Wow, that's a nice shot.
Now Vilmos is the one with the handcuffs on.
Although, he does have that one rail kick. He has actually 2 options, 2 outs on this one. He can shoot to the long rail, but that's a lower percentage. He's looking at shooting to the short rail and kicking at that 3 ball, maybe even kicking it in.
So, Well, I think he's thinking to himself, okay, I could kick this and hit the ball relatively full, and hopefully bring the cue ball behind the 4, and maybe make the 3. But if he does that, if he misses with either one of those 2 balls, he's going to leave the shot open. So
yeah, and he's calculating the percentages now. What are the percentages of me leaving an open shot
Not sure where you are, but
if I hit the long rail? And
you know, here's the real funny thing is, no, he doesn't use a jump cue.
I'm not writing it down until I see your face. Thank you.
He does not use a jump cue.
no, he doesn't. Neither does Dan. So that
Going for the
leaves
2 rail, or is it a 1 rail? 2.
2.
And
Oh, he got the unfortunate hit into that 4 ball, which impeded the speed and direction of that 3 ball.
is our score right on the screen? Okay, I need to know.
Table number 1, I need Phil Prentice and Rodney Wynn. Table number 1, Phil Prentice, Rodney Wynn. Come get your rest, even race to 7.
Dan is not happy, but that 4 into the side pocket seems very makeable. The question is, can he get enough of an angle to come out to play the 5? You play it in speed on this table, and this table will
Might-
punish you. It'll
might
spit.
crossbank this.
Yeah, it'll
Might crossbank
spit
this.
that ball out.
Oh. I thought he was cross banking.
Yeah,
I
and
like the cross bank better than the shot he just played.
I agree with you.
It's a sellout.
It is.
Sellout city.
Well, what Vilmos is looking now, the direction in which he's shooting almost guarantees running into the 9. So if he doesn't want to do that, he'll try and draw, put some inside English to come bounce 2 rails. Yeah, see? He didn't want to clip that 9 because that would move the 9, bank the 9 towards the cluster of balls at the bottom of the table.
Well, he's in a weird situation here too.
Yeah.
You see over here.
Do you think he'll shoot it off?
He's like almost dead straight on the 5, and he's on the wrong side of the 5. He's got a little bit of angle, but to the wrong side.
So what he did is he just went and put some powder in his fingers to give him a minute more of thinking about his shot, thinking what he wants to do, where he wants to shoot it.
I think he's going to do like a super draw shot here.
Really? I thought he was going to stop it right there and take a tougher cut on that 4. Just, draw on these tables, all the length of the table and that. I think he'll stop it right there. Yeah, see?
No. Took the harder shot.
Yes,
That's
and
good.
take the harder shot. He's playing well enough to not worry about it. Simple bounce, 1 rail up, and you have that 8 ball with an angle. He wants to pretty much park the cue ball right where it is right now. Oh.
Tight pockets
That,
here. 4 inches.
That's
Look at
adrenaline. That adrenaline at that end of your swing when
Ashi,
you
look at this.
He's on the hill, and
You don't wanna be in this
no
position right
for
here.
the 9. No, on the rail.
Oh, thank you.
Here he goes. This is for all the marbles right here. The way he hits this determines and if he gets a good roll towards that 9 ball. Oh, he went for the bank. Yes. Way off. And look where he left Dan. He left him with a shot.
Dan leaps up
Yes.
to the table.
Yes, if he could Superman his way to the table, he would.
Still looking for Art Garcia and Scott Slayton on table 16. Art Garcia, Scott Slayton, table 16.
Beautiful shot. There it is.
Boy, I got to tell you, man, he's like a cat right now.
Yes, he used a few of his lives. Actually, 8 of them. No. What's his score? 6?
6.
That's what he used. And
Wow.
with that,
Wow.
then he gets a game.
8-7.
And he's up shooting.
Are you all right? I'll stay out of it. Oh.
On table number 12, I need Bill Norrish and Chris Robinson. Bill Norrish, Chris Robinson, table number 12. Even raised to 7, come to draw.
To gain and maintain a healthy That's the chocolate flavor. Pedialyte? I got Pedialyte.
This is what happens when you speak to the peanut gallery.
Yeah. All right. Vilmos versus Dan. And Dan is creeping behind. I guess
They
Vilmos
took,
just decided to take a
yes.
break. And you know what?
Well,
Wise thing to do. Wise
Well,
thing to do.
The break that Vilmos took is a strategic break. He took a break to sort of let Dan wallow in that win and the fact that he's on the hill.
Okay. It's pretty dark. Yeah, here we go. Well, yeah, let's really pose.
Daniel and I are doing what we never do. See, we're posing for photos,
Posing
and
for photos.
this is funny, of course, to me because God, no, I'm making a terrible face. No, there we go.
One ball goes down, and it's good.
Yes, Dan can't see the 2 from where he's at, so either he spins around it. Again, this is a perfect spot to have used a jump cue, but Dan doesn't do it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even if you're, with this cue ball, the red dot, I know it's a little lighter. I would jump with my full cue here.
Yes. Oh, beautiful. Dan massaged around, but once again,
I
he
honestly
can't
wouldn't
see.
have played that shot.
He can't see the 3.
Only because of how tight that pocket is.
He'll have to kick from behind. Probably try and park it right underneath the 7 and 4. The 8 and 4.
Man, I want to play Dan.
Well, yeah,
I want to
can
play
arrange
him.
that.
I'm sure you can.
Easily done, man.
Because I feel like he and I are almost even.
Oh, very possible. Dan
Or at
just
least he's
missed his
playing like we're
message.
even.
Well, yeah. There was a time, Daniel, I have to tell you, there was a time when Dan played professionally that it didn't really matter who he played.
Right.
Because he wasn't playing against his opponent. He was playing against himself.
Yeah. I mean, you play the table. In general, that's what you're supposed to do.
Sure.
You're supposed to play the table, play the game. Don't play the opponent,
And that's exactly what he would do. I think, part of it is the equipment, part of it is maybe stress, but Dan is a bit out of shape. He hasn't played for a long time professionally, and these players practice every day, hours a day with no fail, every single day. And that's what it takes.
Yeah.
They're like fine-tuned athletes when it comes to play.
Okay, so here, if you take a look here, Vilmos' demeanor, he has made enough mistakes here to the point where he's like, okay, look,
Right.
think this
Don't
through. Don't
screw
up.
this up. Yes. And look, he
Wow.
almost, yes, see?
He was
He
trying
wanted to go around it
He
and
was
hit the
he wanted
eight.
to develop. Yeah, he wanted to develop that shot.
And
more.
once again,
look, he's
yeah.
erred.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think maybe he's
Now he
thinking
has to
too
play
much.
safe. Yeah, right. Maybe he's thinking,
Maybe he's thinking too much.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, guys, this is day one of a 2-day
I wanted
event.
to say, sorry, when you said that Vilmos is thinking too much, he also knows that if he gives Dan a chance, if he lets him in, Dan will take advantage of it.
Oh, I
So
know. I know that.
that creeps into your mind no matter what. It's the thing that sports psychologists teach not to play. Don't play by thinking, oh God, if I miss, the other guy is running out. Don't think that way. It's defeatists.
Okay, nice recovery, but still a little out of line.
Still. This time, though, he can miss the 6. Can he miss that 6?
Chat room saying that Dan Wallace would murder me.
There's a very big possibility if he's playing well. I think so. Oh, wait. Are we talking in the table or in general in the parking lot?
No, like on the table.
Okay, on the table. Fine, because I think his murdering days in the parking lot are over at
I
this
mean, I don't know.
point.
He could
Yeah.
be a gun enthusiast.
He is, actually.
Well, there you go.
He actually is.
You know what? That was a nice shot.
That was a very nice shot. And again, he's got
But he's
the
on
same shot. Yeah. This is the same type of
Ashi
shot.
is different because he doesn't have room now to make the. He can't cut this down the rail. No, he doesn't have room. I don't think he does.
Table number 11, I need Attila Besdan and Melissa Herndon. Attila Besdan, Melissa Herndon. Melissa goes to 7, Attila goes to 8.
Vilmos really sort of. I don't know if he's having an issue with focus or speed.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
something.
have a talk with him after this match.
Ask him what happened in those because he was playing very nice up to here, and there's something. I'm telling you, again, I think that part of it is if he thought that he can run over Dan because Dan's a nobody. Well, not so easy.
Thing is here, Ashi, is just that this just proves a point about pool in general. We all have our days. We all have tough moments, problems with our execution. He also, I know, classically loves to play on diamond tables.
Yes.
And this is a gold crown.
It is a gold crown.
Might be taking on a bank here.
That looks like it, right?
Corner pocket bank.
Yeah. Oh, he was off by. But look, he got lucky.
Yeah, he played it two-way.
Well, Dan can see it. Dan can see the shot right now. Question is the 6-9 on? He might even take it and then go to the other side of the table.
He would play a safety here. This is it's a pretty textbook safety, not that hard. Just cut the 6 into the 9.
us to move that down?
Just cut the 6 into the 9. Hit it
Yes,
full.
yes, that's
and bring
what I
your
meant.
cue ball around the table. You don't try to play to make the 9 here.
Yeah.
It's a pretty straightforward shot, but
Just like that?
yeah, just like that. And we just don't know which way this is going to go because the safety battle is on right now.
Right. And you. Well, you said that Vilmos's safety battle game is number one.
Kicking
Dan
game.
knows how to play. You know, he really understands the tactics of this game and what it takes to win. Like you said, he has won on international events against some of the best players in the world.
That's a good shot. That's
Can
a
he
good
see
shot.
it?
He's not happy with it, but that's a good shot.
Can he see it off the rail?
Yeah. Dan's going to take this off the rail.
Yeah.
You still in? You still in? How many matches did you play?
Just 2. Played Santos and I played.
Oh, no.
I held my own against him though.
Really?
Yeah. And then I played
Oh,
Reed Fleming. We went back.
I like to call it
I missed it. But leaves Vilmos a possible bank and a possible safety.
I tell you what, man, this is Dan's luck today is
Yeah.
really on his side.
The pool gods, right?
The
Is
pool
it
gods
Jay
are
who
smiling on
always
him today.
asked for the pool gods every single time?
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, that's a very common
Right there.
one-pocket mistake that
Yes.
people often make. This is going to be a hill match, man.
It might.
Are we
And
gonna see
with
a
Dan breaking?
Well, let's see what Dan's made of here.
Right.
Four balls.
This
ball
is
in
the
hand.
tester, right? This is
He just looked at me and said, "I heard that." Let's see what Dan's made of. Come on.
Steele. Dan Steele.
He just took a wink and a nod, looked over and said, "I heard that."
Unfortunately, we're standing kind of close to the action table.
We are. But
And sometimes, players can hear exactly what we say. We try and keep it low. So Dan ended up just short of where he wanted to, but he'll slip cut it so that he controls the cue ball into that pocket. Wow.
boy, I tell you what, he's making it exciting.
He is. Every single shot. Well, bank.
He could bank this.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't
depends
know.
on how he feels,
Right,
right?
it's his
this
confidence.
is it. This is sort of like
I mean, you don't
how
want to. You don't want to.
confident are you? You don't want to sell out.
You don't
on
want to battle the
head.
odds here
No.
and get back in another
Yeah.
safety battle with Vilmos.
Right. There it is. There it is.
And suddenly the crowd has sort of quieted down.
Right? There was a big time chatter, and now everybody is watching this.
People are
This
seeing
match.
this. People are seeing this match.
That's it. He
And there we
conceded
go.
the game.
Oh my God! What a cliffhanger, man! So close
Wow.
for Dan Wallace.
That was really
Wow.
close for Dan Wallace.
And you know what? The fun is not going to end here
Nope.
because next up we
Yes,
got
Steve
Ernesto
Aiken
Dominguez
and
Steve
Ernesto
Aiken.
Dominguez.
This is gonna be a fun match.
Yes.
So please stick around. The match will
Yeah,
be starting
I'll
in
be-
probably 2 minutes. I'm sure these guys are going to get right to the flip. And Steve, welcome back. All right, and thanks to Ashi. He's going to go toke on a cigar or take photos and stuff.
Let me take it over, Daniel.
Sure, thanks, Mike. And yes, and this is going to be a lot of fun.